Hello everybody, this is AK. I'm back. So regular readers know that I've said before that money is hard to make and we should try to make it hard to lose, right? Because hard-earned money, if we lose it, we really feel the pain, right? So I have always liked the idea of holding some cash, quite a lot of cash in fact, and regular readers of my blog would know that I hold enough cash to cover 24 months of routine or recurring expenses for not only myself but also my family, right? It seems like a lot of cash, but in case something does go horribly wrong or if everything else goes wrong, we have that money to tide us through bad times, right? And so what am I doing with my money this week, right? So regular readers know that I buy T-bills every 2 weeks, right? And I have a T-bill ladder that has already been completed, and now it's just rolling old money, and sometimes I strengthen the T-bill ladder by adding fresh funds, right? And in last week, one of the T-bills bought 6 months ago, of course, matured and the funds came back. And in that T-bill 6 months ago, I actually used money from 3 sources. Number 1, cash on hand. Number 2, SRS savings. And number 3, CPF OA money. Right, so all the money came back last week. So this week, I'm going to roll the cash on hand into this week's T-bill auction. I'll probably strengthen it by adding a few $1,000s to it, fresh funds. And as for the money that came back to my SRS account, I will also roll it into this week's T-bill auction. And because my SRS savings has grown without me doing anything. It has grown. I mean, I stopped contributing to my SRS account because I'm no longer working. I no longer have an earned income, so I don't pay income tax. So it doesn't make sense for me to contribute to my SRS account. I stopped doing it 8 years ago, so it has not grown through voluntary contribution. But it has grown because dividends are paid into my SRS account regularly, because I use the money in my SRS account to invest in some income producing stocks, right? So the SRS has some fresh funds which I will roll into the T-bill that's auctioning on Thursday as well. And as for the money that came back into the CPF OA, same thing. I will roll it into the new T-bill auction that's coming up on Thursday. And for both money in the SRS and cash on hand, I will go the path of non-competitive bid, because it doesn't matter really what the cutoff yield is, because even if it's like 3.33% or 2.5%, it's okay, because it's much more than what the SRS account is paying me, and much more than what the savings account regular interest rate is. But for money from the CPF Ordinary Account, I will be placing a competitive bid, because if the unthinkable happens and the cutoff yield comes in very low, like at 2 point, it doesn't even have to come in very low, it just has to come in at 2.5%, which is what the CPF OA is supposed to pay us. I will have lost money because of the way interest is calculated by the CPFB, right? I will have lost 7 months of interest, and if I can get 2.5% from a six months T-bill, I will have lost 1 month of 2.5% per annum in interest. So I will put in a competitive bid to make sure that the unthinkable, even if the unthinkable happens, my CPF OA money is safe, right? So that's what I'm doing with my money this week, right? Remember, I remind myself that it's always a good thing to have a cash pile And if you remember Warren Buffett, he has now currently something like 150 billion US dollars in cash pile. It has been growing. It was last year, it was much lower at $128 billion. Then by May it was $130 billion, and now he has about $150 billion. We can't compare with Mr. Warren Buffett lah. We just do what we can, right? So if AK can do it, so can you. Bye bye.